The following questions are from the real SAT test dated May 2008, courtesy of the College Board. Number 12. After tying his horse to the hitching post, the cowboy dusted off his boots and taken off his hat, causing the horse to shake its mane and move around uneasily. Okay, after tying his horse to the hitching post, so the cowboy tied his horse to the hitching post and then he dusted. Okay, so after tying is correct. The cowboy dusted off his boots and took off his hat. Past tense, causing the horse, these actions caused the horse to shake its mane and move around uneasily. Move, verb, uneasily, adverb, correct. Number 13. Having completed a course in art appreciation, Maureen and I were able to judge the paintings in the Museum of Modern Art more critical than we had before. Okay, having completed a course in art appreciation, we, Maureen and I, we equals she and I, so that's correct. Were able, we were, correct, plural, past tense, able to judge the paintings in the Museum of Modern Art more critically, because judge is the verb. This modifies the verb, so you need an adverb here than we had before. We were able to judge the paintings more critically than we had been able to judge them before. C. Number 14. Because eco-tours support conservation efforts and raise awareness of ecological issues is why they have become increasingly popular with environmentally sensitive travelers. Okay, actually say it out loud and you'll know where the mistake lies. Okay, because eco-tours support conservation efforts and raise awareness of ecological issues. Okay, because they support, plural, present tense, and raise awareness, plural, present tense. This is the subject. Eco-tours support, eco-tours raise, so correct. Of awareness of, correct. Ecological issues. All you need is a comma. Because they do this, they have become. Because eco-tours do this, they have become popular. They have become, present perfect, correct. Increasingly popular. Popular is an adjective. Increasingly is an adverb, correct. Popular with environmentally sensitive travelers. That's correct. Okay. So answer is B. Number 15. The works of the innovative and reclusive sculptor Marisol Escobar attracted considerable attention during the early 1960s, a time when the public craved artistic novelty and critics focus on the personal lives of artists. Okay, the works of the innovative and reclusive sculptor. Okay, the works, plural, attracted considerable attention during the early 1960s, time, correct. This was a time when the public craved artistic novelty, and critics focused, or past tense, focused on the personal lives of artists. 15D. 16. The night before the playoffs began, the coach advised her players to eat a balanced dinner, to relax and enjoy themselves, and they should get plenty of rest. The night before the playoffs began, past tense, so far so good. The coach advised her players to eat a balanced dinner, to relax and enjoy themselves. Okay. Advised her players, number 1, to eat a balanced dinner. Number 2, to relax and enjoy themselves. So themselves refers to the players, so correct. And to get plenty of rest. You need a parallel structure, a balance there. 17. If properly cared for, a 100-year-old violin will produce a more fuller sound than it did when it was first made. If properly cared for, if a violin is properly cared for, cared, adjective, properly adverb, modifies the adjective, that's correct. A 100-year-old violin will produce a more fuller means more full, so you don't need the more here. A more fuller sound than it did when it was first made, than the violin did when it was first made. The first Asian American to be elected governor in the United States, George Ariyoshi of Hawaii, has served longer than any of his predecessors when he retired from office in 1986. The first Asian American to be elected governor in the United States, that's correct. George has served, this is present perfect tense, longer than any of his, he has served longer than anybody else, this is correct, of his predecessors, of any of the people who went before him, when he retired from office. From is correct, he retired from office. Now look, this is past tense, so you cannot have present perfect here, because present perfect means that he is not yet retired. He is still serving. He has served from the past to the present. So since he already retired in 1986, you need the past perfect tense here. He had served longer. He had served until he retired. 19. Lost for many years and presumed stolen, the portrait of the 19th century writer had been stored inadvertent in the museum basement. Lost for many years, that's correct, and presumed stolen. So the portrait was lost for many years and presumed stolen. The portrait had been stored, correct. Inadvertent is wrong because it modifies the verb had been stored, so you need an adverb here. Inadvertently, ly. In the back of the textbook are a list of words that can be easily learned by those who want to improve their command of English. What's in the back of the textbook? A list of words. A list, singular, is. A list of words that can be these words can be easily learned by those who want, plural, to improve their command of English. That's correct. So 20A. 21. In Gee's Bend, Alabama, traditionally made quilts are aired outdoors on sunny spring days, attracting local quilters who enjoy this display of one another's creations. Okay, in Alabama, traditionally made quilts are noun, adjective, traditionally is an adverb modifying the adjective, correct. The quilts are aired, plural, outdoors on sunny spring days, attracting local quilters who enjoy, present, plural, this display of these traditionally made quilts, this display of one another's creations. Yeah, these quilts are the creations of these people, so all correct. 22. After All in the Family made their television debut, other situation comedies began to explore a variety of social issues. After All in the Family, this is the name of a TV show. This show made its TV debut. Other comedies began to explore a range of social issues. 23. When recipes for iced tea appeared in a few late 19th century cookbooks, the drink did not become popular until the 1904 World's Fair. The tenses and everything are correct, but try and figure out what they're trying to say. When recipes for iced tea appeared, the drink did not become popular. There's something very wrong here. So what are they trying to say? They're trying to say that iced tea did not become popular until the 1904 World's Fair, although recipes appeared in a few like recipes for iced tea had appeared way before the World's Fair. They had appeared in the 19th century cookbooks, so in the 1800s. Although recipes for iced tea appeared, okay, the drink did not become popular. At the highest level of competitive chess, players are so familiar to one another's strategies that they can practically read their opponent's minds. The result is drearily predictable play. At the highest level, yes, you have more than 2 players, you have a lot of players, so highest is correct. Level of competitive chess, players are so familiar with. The strategies are familiar to the players are familiar with the strategies. They are so familiar with one another's strategies. Yes, anytime when you have more than 2 people, you use one another. When it's 2 people, you use each other. One another strategies that they can almost, verb, adverb, correct, read the opponent's minds. The result is drearily predictable play. Predictable, adjective, drearily, adverb. So correct. In addition to having a theoretical understanding of disease, medical students must have experience in treating patients if he or she is to learn to diagnose illnesses accurately. In addition to having this understanding, medical students must have experience. Okay, so first they must have understanding, then they must have experience in treating. Yeah, I'm experienced in something. They must have experience in treating patients if they are to learn to diagnose illnesses accurately. Because the they are refers to the medical students. Most of the books around this old house smell of mildew, and if you pick one up, you will find that the spine has deteriorated and their covers have rotted. Most of the books around this house smell, plural, well, around this house, in this old house, around this house, correct. Books smell, plurals, correct. Smell of something, correct. And if you pick one up, if you pick any one of the books up, if you pick one book up, you will find that the spine has one singular, the spine of the book singular has singular, deteriorate, and this is wrong because suddenly it's plural. The spine has deteriorated and its cover has rotted. 27. Someone who uses a personal computer to perform only such tasks as word processing and sending email need not buy the most advanced model available on the market. Someone who uses this to do this, to perform tasks, plural, such as word processing and sending email, correct, plural, 2 tasks, need not buy, this person need not buy the most advanced. Oh, need not buy equals does not need to buy. Yeah, this is a special construction. It is actually correct. Does not need to buy the most advanced model available on the market. All correct. Despite the fact that cooking vegetables generally leads to vitamin loss, the nutritional value of raw tomatoes is actually less than tomatoes that have been thoroughly cooked. Despite the fact that, in spite of something, despite the fact that cooking vegetables generally cooking, singular, leads to vitamin loss, the nutritional value of raw tomatoes is, value, singular, is actually less than tomatoes. You cannot compare value to tomatoes. You can only compare value to value. You compare the value of raw tomatoes to the value of tomatoes, the nutritional value of tomatoes that have been cooked. So is actually less than that of tomatoes that have been thoroughly cooked. The nutritional value of raw tomatoes is actually less than that of tomatoes that have been thoroughly cooked, less than the nutritional value of tomatoes that have been cooked. 29. Quincy took Dan to Derek's home for a visit, never imagining that 5 years would pass before seeing Derek again. So Quincy took Dan to Derek's home for a visit, correct, he took him there for a visit, and he never imagining, substitute for and he never imagined that 5 years would pass, past tense, would pass, past conditional, before he would see Derek again. Would pass before he would see Derek again.